Okay, so in this short series I'm going to be teaching guys how to sample kicks, hi-hats, snares and other percussion elements using quite simple techniques from most EDM songs. They usually have one or two points where you've got a basic percussive loop where you can extract them from. So for an example I'm going to use Lucas and Steve's Fearless. You can already see Ableton's warping it for me and I do not want that. And you're going to see already if I activate the metronome, it's completely out of beat, even if I align the kick properly. That's out of tempo. So I know this is 125, so I'm going to set the master tempo to that. And now it's in tempo. So you want to be smart when sampling. You don't want to start in the drop where there's like bass, synths and other stuff going on. And in the outro in this case it's still got quite a few things, some bass, some vocals. So in this case the best point is actually in the intro. So you've kind of got this like cymbal crash which is going to get in the way of sampling, but if you listen already from here onwards, that's really clean. So I like that there. So I'm gonna just go in here, loop this, and Control E to split this here. Delete that, and that sounds good enough. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zoom in, activate the phase from here. I'm going to kind of push that back, and I really want to start, I'm going to zoom in here as well, really want to start on the attack of the kick, which is this peak here. So something like this. So it's not getting rid of any of the attack, but it's not really giving any delay for the sample. Okay. So I apologize for the mouse. It's my PC's fault. Okay, so that sounds very clean. It's just got percussive elements. We just want to sample the kick in this tutorial. So what's the problem here? The kick is fine, but the hi-hat is on top of the kick and it's not letting it finish properly. We could just cut the hi-hat out, but that doesn't sound very good, does it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this. And how it works is I'm going to be using an EQ to get rid of the hi-hat. And basically what you need to know is a hi-hat doesn't really have a lot of low frequencies, but a kick does. So for example, if I just play the hi-hat, this is the hi-hat and this part will be the kick. And I can show you immediately just by cutting the hi-hat out. You can still hear a bit of the kick here if you're wearing headphones. And now this is basically, you can already see here the hi-hat's been completely cut out. But the problem is it's not really letting any of the higher end information of the kick pass. See, that's quite different. So basically what we want to do is understand how a kick works. So if I zoom in here, and really only get, I don't know, maybe this much of the sample, just play absolutely the attack. You can see how there's hardly any bass here and it's mostly high-end information. Whilst if I do the opposite, if I let a lot of bass out, if I like cut out the attack and just play the bass, you can see it's hardly got any high-end information and it's got a lot of bass. So basically we want to get a sweet spot basically between the hi-hat and the kick. So I'm going to loop this, get rid of this, and just play it. Okay, so we obviously don't want to cut any frequencies here because that will delete the attack of the kick. Already here should be good. So let's just cut this all out. So select this, and we want to select the frequency, show it in automation. And we drag this down. And if we do this, so you can see it's just cutting it. It's letting the attack of the kick through, but it's not letting enough low end through. So basically all we want to do is find that sweet spot between the kick and the hi-hat. Now you can hear the hi-hat. So something about 120 is fine. Usually the lowest peak of a kick is usually like 60, 80 hertz. So 128 is already more than enough. And that's sounding pretty clean. So I'm going to go back to fades. I'm going to fade this out a tiny bit, just to be sure. Check there's a bit of fade here. Yeah. So I'm going to select this and render it with Control-Shift-R. Render it to my desktop, and I'm just going to drag it here into new channel. And if I just solo the first track and delete this, you can hear the original with the hi-hat. And here, as you can see, there's no hi-hat, and this is the last result. I'll also get rid of the fade so you can hear the attack. So that's how you sample a kick, and in the next tutorial I'll be showing you guys how to do the same thing basically, but with the hi-hat.